Hi, I'm Isaac Warnecke, the staff videographer for the Wright State Guardian, and we're here on episode 2 of Guardian Unsolved. With our last video, we explored the tunnels of Wright State to see if it's actually haunted or not. And although we did find some compelling evidence suggesting some paranormal activity, we didn't really come to an actual conclusion, so the case remained unsolved. I mean, we used a free ghost hunting app, so take that as you will. But on this episode, I thought I'd take a look at a different location that really should be considered a spot of interest for a video like this. Many people aren't fully aware of this, but Wright State actually has a cemetery on campus. Right off of University Boulevard, there's a street called Circle Drive. If you take the road and go a ways, you reach the cemetery. Now, I'm not knowledgeable about the cemetery whatsoever, so we called a librarian to give us a little bit more info about it, and afterwards we can take a little look and see if it's actually haunted or not.
Yeah, my name's Chris Woodman, and I'm the university archivist. Work at Special Collections and Archives since 2005. I was also a graduate from here. So there's a couple of different accounts, but what we think happened is Martin Rockafield, it's called the Rockafiled Cemetery, and Martin Rockafield moved to Bath Township, we believe around 1807. The earliest headstone date is 1811 of a young girl. They believe that originally there were 46 headstones there and only 10 remain. Some they believe were used for a sidewalk. Grave desecration was not uncommon back then. The Rockafields were gone by 1869, and they sold tracts of their land to some of the neighboring families. And the Millers at that time, in 1931, owned the tract of land that included the cemetery. It was at the back of their property, and they didn't really pay much attention to it. And somebody came and visited them and said something had been dug up. And so they went and talked to the Millers, and they found that it had been tunneled into the side of a casket. And after further investigation, they found a skeleton in a pit in the woods, kind of covered up by stuff. And they were able to confirm that it was the skeleton of Martin Rockafield. Through history, people would often bury valuables, and grave robbers were looking for things like that.
Last question. Do you think the cemetery is haunted or not?
I am no expert in the paranormal. It's not like I hang out in the cemetery a lot where I would observe anything like that. I know Ohio University is notorious for being very haunted, and they have a thing in their archives called the Ghost File that has all these different stories, but sadly, we don't have anything like that in the archives. So if anything is haunted on campus, it's probably the archives, because we have the records of a lot of dead people. So.
Kind of like our last ghost hunting video we done, we used an app called Ghost Hunting Tools, hashtag not sponsored. And although it's probably not the most trustworthy of apps to use, we found it quite useful when it came to kind of just tracking some activity down. We actually uncovered something really interesting last time we used the app, so I'm gonna use it again and let's see how it goes. Is there anyone here with us today? Anyone? Nothing yet. Okay, yep, we're leaving. I did not like that. I did not like that one bit. I did not like that at all. Okay. Right, so I'm at the grave of Elizabeth right now. Elizabeth, if you're out there, would you like to say anything? Oh. Toads. She said toads. Anything else you would like to say before I leave? Anything? Crow's freaking me out. Alright, so I'm back. Long story short, I didn't find anything. I know a lot of people have doubts on the app. I did myself. But I keep comparing this to last time we used it in the tunnels on campus, and we got really good results, suggesting to the spirit that was there. And as for using it this time, we really got nothing. I mean, it just threw out weird words. Although the one prompt where it said devil was kind of nerve-wracking, I will say the app tends to like just throw random words up a lot. What I like to pay attention to are the levels, and that's it. As for the words, sometimes I just kind of ignore them unless if it's really relevant to where I'm at or it says a name. That can be very useful. The levels did rise at a certain spot on the cemetery, which I did find that kind of creepy. But other than that, I mean, I came across nothing that suggested any paranormal activity, and it really pains me to say this, but I think this case is solved, that the cemetery is in fact not haunted.